pretend I'm there.
Great. Hey.
Disembodied voice. Jamie, when did you start Flame Bearers?
I started Flame Bearers 3 years ago when I was a grad student at Harvard.
What inspired you to do that versus, I don't know, anything else?
Well, I'll give you the professional answer and then the personal answer. So my background had been in media, and I realized that less than 4% of media coverage goes to women athletes. So there was a massive need in the marketplace. On the personal level, I had lost my dad and then almost lost my mom, and I realized that I wanted to start my own business. I was done working for corporations, for people who I didn't necessarily believe in or completely align with, and I wanted to do my own thing.
So what's the personal answer for this?
I think that women everywhere need to have role models that they can look up to who look and sound like them. And it's really hard to become something that you can't see. But if you can see and hear someone who looks like you, who's walked the walk and become a professional athlete, who you can relate to, it's much easier for you to do that yourself. So my goal was really to make sure that children everywhere have role models who they can look up to aspire to become.
What has surprised you the most in the growth of Flame Bearers?
Two things. The first thing would be how die-hard the community is, so how hungry people are for this content. As I said, literally 96% of sports media coverage goes to, or historically has gone to, male athletes. So people are hungry for this content. Number two, I would say specifically within the Paralympic coverage space, the massive void there. So even within the women's sports space, pretty much all of that coverage goes to able-bodied athletes. Last Olympics and Paralympics was the first time that the Paralympics were even shown on primetime television. So if we look at the lack of media coverage in women's sports generally, there's a massive hunger. But then as we look at it even closer in the disability space, there's just no one talking about this stuff.
What impact have you seen already with the athletes themselves?
From my work?
Mm-hmm. And if you don't mind, just restate the question too.
Sure.
The impact I've seen.
Yeah, the impact I've seen is that people feel seen, they feel heard, they feel celebrated, which is really important to this demographic and this group of athletes in particular. Also, so many athletes who previously didn't see connections with other women athletes now see themselves in athletes from the other side of the world. They say, wow, I didn't realize that insert a name of an athlete struggled with that as well. So it's been really special to see how connected they are and how similar their experiences are despite what sport they play, what country they're from, or if they even have a disability. They're all seeing themselves in each other.
It's beautiful. Why should somebody help support Flame Bearers?
You should help support Flame Bearers for 3 reasons. The first is that there is a massive demand for it, and there's not really a supply stream yet. We are providing that supply stream. So as I said, less than 4% of sports media coverage has historically gone to women athletes, and pretty much all of that portrays them in ways that they do not like. So we're being a part of changing that. Number 2, who we're featuring and how we're featuring them is very different than how things have been done in the past. So half of our athletes are Paralympians, half of them are from the global south. We're trying to bring voices to the table who have historically been marginalized or not covered. And 3, everyone is talking about diversity, equity, inclusion. People are hungry for this content, and it's the right thing to do.
What are your big goals for Flame Bearers?
Flame Bearers, currently, let me start over. My goals for Flame Bearers are twofold. One, for us to become the preeminent storytelling platform globally for elite women athletes. When people say the name Flame Bearers, I want them to immediately think of stories for the best female athletes in the world. I want them to know that it is a community that they can trust, where it is founded by women to support women and will have their back. We're not going to portray them in a way that the athletes themselves dislike. I think that covers it.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.